Hi, welcome to the channel. It's Gene, and we're here to talk about one question, which is, do they write them and sing them like they used to? That's the one question we're asking. And a lot of people, young and old, they think that the old music is better than the new music, but I'm not so sure, and we're going to ask that question one video at a time. So today this is amazing. I don't know if I've been living under a rock or what, but I have never heard of the band Dr. Dog. And they've got 3 million followers on Spotify, so they're extremely popular, and I know nothing about them. So this is a band I just came across tonight, and so we're going to play a performance from KEXP, song called Shadow People. And so let's get right into it. All right, welcome. Shaker. Some country chords. Acoustic, nice.
The rain is falling, it's after dark.
Wow.
The streets are swimming with the sharks.
I did not expect that, such a high register
It's a
voice.
bright night for the wrong company. And there ain't nothing around here to look at. Move along. Move along. Neon lights on Baltimore. Every shadow's getting saner.
Symbols.
Some backyard and some plastic chair. Hoping these cigarettes will save us. Here we go again. Here we go
Okay.
again. You got rings in your ears. You got kicked around and made up. Looking high, looking low. Where did all the shadow people go? Where did all the shadow people go?
Tremolo on that guitar.
I want
Some nice drums on that. Wow, I can't get over the voice. It's so different. It's nothing like I expected. Let's keep going on this.
to know where the shadow people go.
Nice melody. I like that part right there.
Stole a bite from the second mile. I saw a band play in the basement. I crossed the path of a friend of mine, and I know what that look upon her face meant. Something's gone from her eyes. Something's gone.
And we'll do a deep dive into the lyrics.
You could be a woman, you could be a man. Wear the glove on the other hand.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Just playing along. Just playing along.
Oh, some nice keys on there.
And I got something on my mind. And I got voices on the other line. Saying hi, saying hello. Where did all the shadow people go? Where did all the shadow people go? I wanna know where the shadow people go. Where did all the shadow people go?
like that organ part right there.
People go. Where did all the shadow people? Where the shadow people?
I was wondering if they're going to rock out a little bit. So that brings this song up. Wow. Wow, that little solo at the end really brought that up. Really brought that up. So let's do a deep dive into the lyrics. So what I'll say about that is, yeah, I like what it is. It's got that little bit of Americana rock sound that I like, but very poppy that I like in a band like Wilco. So I'm a huge Wilco fan, and I hear a lot of that. But of course, the vocals are totally different. I think you love them or hate them, right? But for sure, I was bouncing up and down to that song. It's got a good melody, and it's very jaunty, if you know what I mean. So let's take a look at the synopsis on this. He's saying that Shadow People is a song about the band's hometown in Philadelphia, even though I did check out the lyrics in advance, and they talk about Baltimore. So it's not too far from Pennsylvania, but so they're describing a period in songwriter Scott McMicken's life where he was living in some not so glamorous parts of town. Scott talked about the background of the song in great depth in an interview. It takes a particular slant on the neighborhood. It was a particular kind of night, kind of a dark night. It was a heavy night. It was humid. It was a summer night. It was raining. Everything just seemed like it was sweating. The whole world just seemed like it was sweating, and it was dark, and my neighborhood at that point smelled real bad. So he continues talking about lived at a particular juncture of a couple streets, a lot going on, different houses, foot traffic, lots of characters, and I just wasn't having it. I didn't want to be there at that point in time. So that's where this song was born out of, a not so pleasant take on the neighborhood. So although the song takes a rather negative approach to the neighborhood, McMicken goes on to argue that the song was therapeutic in a way for him. So let's see. Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys received a writing credit for coming up with the titular term shadow people. Okay. And I did read that they toured with Black Keys. So let's go into these lyrics real quick. The rain is falling. It's after dark. The streets are swimming with the sharks. It's the right night for the wrong company. So sharks probably. Yeah. And there ain't nothing around here to look at. Move along, move along. Neon lights on Baltimore. That might be a reference to on Broadway, the neon lights on Broadway, the neon lights on Baltimore. Yeah, that was a song from the 60s, right, on Broadway. So every shadow's getting famous in some backyard in some plastic chair. And I like that. I like that it's not just a chair, but it's a plastic chair. Hoping these cigarettes will save us. And that's a great line. That's probably my favorite line in the song. Here we go again, here we go again. You got rings in your ears and you got kicked around and made up. Looking high, looking low. Where did the shadow people go? Let's see what it says about shadow people. Nobody just blends in anymore. Everyone is unique these days. There are no more shadow people in the background. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, and I think, it reminds me one thing that gets misquoted all the time. People always talk about 15 minutes of fame, right? And you know what Andy Warhol said? He said in the future, everybody, or everyone, I don't remember which word he said, but everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. Well, that changes the whole meaning of that. Because if everybody's famous, then nobody's famous, right? So that gets taken out of context all the time. So yeah, this era where everybody's a star, but a flaming shooting star. Yeah, where did all the shadow people go? So that's interesting. That's kind of Western, I would say. There's a lot of parts of the world where that would not be true, but yeah, I want to know, whoa, where the shadow people go. I stole a bike from the second mile. Is that a part of, yeah, West Philly? Second Mile's an awesome thrift shop in West Philly. You can definitely pick up the occasional bike there. I saw a band play in the basement, colloquially known, oh, the basement of the First Unitarian Church in Center City, Philadelphia. That's interesting about the Unitarians. There's been some recordings made in Unitarian churches. Many bands have played the basement, from Arcade Fire to Come Apart to Mumford and Sons to How to Dress Well. Interesting. I crossed the path of a friend of mine, and I know what that look upon her face meant. Something's gone from her eyes, something's gone wrong. You could be a woman or you could be a man. That's an interesting line. Wear the glove on the other hand. Or you could be twisted or you could be insane, pushing the envelope against the grain. So you could be anything you want, even if it's out of the ordinary. Being strange just makes you more impressive. Just playing along, and I got something on my mind, and I got voices on the other line saying hi, saying hello, where did all the shadow people go? So he repeats that. So this is a simple song. I like it. It's one of the things that brought this song up for me, I mean, up in my rating, if you will, is I like the drummer. Drummer was doing some different patterns on the drum. And then that was a killer guitar solo at the end. So, and the song built up a little bit of energy as it went, had a nice slope, if you will. You know, it had that good energy early, but they just brought it up slowly. So it's definitely a skilled band. And like I say, I mentioned the singer. I think I think you got to get used to the singer, but I can see how this is a grower. Uh, so yeah, I mean, this is it used to be that country music was, you had all these genres, right? Country, jazz, and rock and pop. And then, of course, everything starts to meld. So country mixed with rock, which started with the late 60s. You think of the Flying Burrito Brothers and Graham Parsons, and later Emmylou Harris and the Byrds, and you think of the whole country rock movement. And then, of course, about 20 years later comes rock country, right? They're always about 20 years behind, and you get your Garth Brooks and your Shania Twain. And then we moved beyond that, and we got into a kind of a new kind of Americana meets pop meets rock, like I was talking about with, Uncle Tupelo and Wilco and those types of bands. And that was really good stuff. I liked that because it was more integrated and not just a pure genre. And so I think these guys are mining that territory. I think they've got their own signature sound. That's probably one of the biggest compliments I can pay anybody. If I heard these guys on the radio, I would say, "Oh, that's Dr. Dog. I know them." So that's a huge compliment I can pay. And they don't really steal from anybody specifically. They're just borrowing here and there. So I'd be anxious to hear another song. I liked this. It grew. I wasn't so sure the first minute, right? I was like, okay. But then I found myself getting into the melody, and the melody was very strong. And I used the word jaunty. I don't use that word very often, but it kind of nails how I felt about the song. So yeah, I think I'd give it a B plus. It was a fun song, and the lyrics are simple. It's just a little sketch about a place and time, and that's fine. Many, many, many great songs have been written in that vein. So I'm glad I checked this out. Yeah, yeah. All right. And as we say in Mexico, buen dia.